Whether we are going through challenging times, facing difficult situations, or experiencing unfortunate events in our life that cause internal struggle, we need to remember that these are tests, tests that are helping us evolve to the next level. And it doesn't seem like that when we're in it. It doesn't seem that, oh, these are lessons that we are going to bring forward and they're going to make us stronger and everything is amazing. No, it feels intense. It feels dramatic. It feels unbearable sometimes. So, I want to share with you 3 insights that I think are very helpful in creating some ease around going through and navigating those turbulent times. The first one: surrender to what is in front of you. You need to meet yourself where you're at. That might look like taking inventory of all the circumstances you're being presented with, not your thoughts, but the circumstances, the facts in your life. Get it all out in front of you, write it down on paper. Then you can have a realistic approach to what you're dealing with. And I don't mean to sound insensitive during this moment, but sometimes, oftentimes, because I've experienced it, we often confuse the thoughts that we're thinking about something with the actual circumstance. So that's the first thing. Also, part of surrendering to what is in front of you is to be present, taking the time to be present, slowing down, remembering what you're doing and why you're doing it with whatever decisions that you're having to make. And then you can ask yourself, is it possible to loosen the grip just a little bit? The second insight is to lighten your load. Lighten your load by taking all of those thoughts that you have, all of your opinions about the fact, and getting it out on paper or getting it into a voice note. Just get it out of yourself. And do this first with yourself before you reach out to a friend. Although you can always reach out to a trusted friend and also do this process. However, I recommend taking the time for yourself and getting it all out first. Then from there, process the emotion. This part is so key. And I've done a video on how to process emotion, especially intense emotions. I will put the link below. Processing the emotion allows space for clarity. And sometimes that might take a few minutes, a few hours, or even a few days. And depending on the severity of what you're going through, it can last longer. But know that the more that you process every day, take time for yourself to really feel what's going on, you will create more room and more creativity. You will access more wisdom and creativity on how to handle what you need to in order to move through it. The third one is to take inventory of a growing pain that you had in the past. Oftentimes, our brain likes to find evidence that we can overcome this again in the future. So take a moment, reflect on your past, and remember if there's any moments that were big growth spurts or a huge level of involvement or even a difficult time that then led to something really magical. And then take a look at the lessons that you learned and see if you can bring any of those lessons forward to the future. Sometimes we need to borrow confidence from experiences that we've had to remind ourselves how capable we are to move through what we're going through now. More times than not, when we declare what we want in the world, we declare we want more success in our businesses. We want more abundance in our finances. We want more loving relationships. Well, when we declare that, oftentimes we're presented with that, but we don't see it that way. We see it like, oh, it should be easy. These tests are little strength builders just to make sure that we want what it is. Now, there's a whole nother concept around not pushing the river. I get it, flow with life 100%. But when we can come back and we can remind ourselves and we can recommit and we can redecide and we can reflect on, is this what I want? And the answer is yes, then we know that these are tests. And I want to leave you with this. Sometimes, in order for us to break through, these tests need to present themselves. If they don't, we have no opportunity to build the strength to eventually one day fly.